school. But I do just want to reinforce that there's a lot happening with AI out there today. And it's just so critical that you're just learning the different pieces and understanding how it works and what's out there. And so as we go through this work today, please do keep in mind that I'm trying to go a little bit slow and I'm not throwing a bunch of stuff at you, because what I really want is for you to be able to explore the different tools that are out there. There's a lot of tools out there. And by knowing about the different tools, that you can make different selections on what your needs are. The more you go through and practice with these tools, the more confident and comfortable you're going to be with AI, which in turn translates into being more comfortable with students in your class and what that might look like. So, thus far, we have talked about some different things. So I just want to do a quick review of videos 1 and 2. We talked about generative AI. And that's kind of what changed everything, because we've had AI around for a very long time. We've been using it on a variety of levels. However, when you start looking at ChatGPT and some of these other tools that are now coming about, it's because of generative AI, which means that when you look at this, the big component of that is the natural language processing. So what is that? As a quick review, I'm just going to give you a moment to read that yourself. Okay, so when we talked about this initially, it was kind of like now we have the ability from AI and natural language processing to be able to essentially have conversations and collaborate with our AI as though it was maybe another human being on some level. And so that's kind of the whole point behind this, is that now it has that ability on a different level than we've ever seen before. So we talked about ChatGPT in our first session. In our second session, we talked about how you can use ChatGPT, the next level version 4, through Bing. And the difference between the two of those really essentially comes down to privacy. And so if you're using ChatGPT, then that they're saving everything. They're saving all the information that you give it. If you're using Bing, Bing has a privacy policy in place, and they aren't saving and collecting any of the information you put forward. Now, I'm just going to put a caveat out there. I actually prefer, on a personal level, I prefer ChatGPT, the regular, if I am putting information in that doesn't have any kind of considerations for privacy. So I'm just looking for a tool I want to have information about this, or this. I'm not putting in any names. I'm not putting in anything that needs to be kept private. Personally, I kind of like to go there, and then it keeps track of all my prior searches. So if I wanted to go back and do that, if you have any kind of privacy concerns, if you're putting anything in that you don't want tracked back to you or that information out there, it's really important that you go out and use Bing. So that's kind of where we've been. Now we're going to move ahead today, and we're going to talk about a different tool, Magic School. Now, as I'm giving you different tools, I am finding and I am learning daily. I mean, this is a journey like no other I have been on in the tech world. There's always things that are changing. In fact, it makes it kind of difficult when I sit down to figure out what should we talk about, because there's so many things. So just know that, but just know again, the goal is that I want you to feel comfortable going out and using tools. I want you to find a couple of tools that if I want to create a lesson plan, or if I need to create a rubric, or if I want to change the reading level of a text piece for my students, that you have in the back of your brain 3 or 4 different tools that you can quickly go out and use, and you know what each of those tools do. Because what we're starting to see is that there are ones that are specifically starting to focus on certain aspects. Instead of ChatGPT, which is general about everything, there are now a lot of education tools out there that will do things better than ChatGPT, because that's their sole focus. And so as we move forward, those are some things to keep in mind. Sorry, I know I'm talking a lot. Okay. One of the things I do want to talk to you about real briefly are careers in AI. And this comes back to one of the pieces for getting STEM clock hours. We need to talk about careers, but I think it's an important component to talk about anyway. So when I have done research on careers in AI right now, we've had just a little over a year of this tool being put out there in a much different way. Let me give you a couple of pieces that I've found. First of all, over and over and over again, I am seeing the impact is unknown. And so here, I'm sorry, I should have put this in slide mode. The impact is unknown. And so that means pretty much anything right now, because they don't know how quickly this is going to change, what this is going to look like, what tools will be available. You're going to see this. So as you're thinking about careers in the future, please keep in mind that it's unknown even to the people who are doing this research, and this is their job, is to predict the future of careers and different types of things like that. But I do want to tell you that I did some research a couple of weeks ago, and I looked on Washington State to Indeed.com. Like I said, I limited it to Washington, and I just typed in AI and careers that you need to have AI learning to be able to do that job. Already, there were over 1,200 positions that just popped up. And then I went out to LinkedIn and I typed in within a 25-mile radius of Monroe School District, how many careers were out there that had AI as part of the title or part of the job description. And there were over 3,200, and that was within that 25-mile radius. So just to kind of start you thinking a little bit about careers and what that might look like. By the way, any predictions I read whatsoever, teachers will never be replaced with AI. It might change the way some things are that we do, but teachers are not going away. So let's just put that out there. All right. However, let's talk a little bit about some of the different professions. So ethics and integrity managers, huge. This is on the horizon as a very big up and coming career. There's a lot of changes that are going to happen in the medical field, in the legal field, in education. Essentially, we have to teach kids differently, because if this tool becomes as popular in other career fields as we're starting to see it's going to be, students are going to need to learn these skills earlier than when they get out onto their job. Marketing is going to change, finance, customer service, a huge area where AI is going to be impactful. All right, so for today, for your homework assignment, one of the things that I would like for you to do is to answer this question, please. So pause and then write this out on your document. So again, this is your document of ongoing. Label it video number 3. And here's your question. I'm not going to read it to you. Just type that in and then answer it at whatever point you feel like doing that. All right, I'm moving on. All right, so before we start talking about Magic School, these are things that I've talked to you about in the other 2 videos as well. When you are using AI, there are some considerations, and these are out there broadly, pretty much narrowed down to these 5 that are super critical to remember. 1, you have to look for bias and inaccuracy in the information provided to you through the AI tool. Number 2, take an 80-20 approach. So maybe you use 80% of the information that you get from your AI tool. You still have to go in and adjust that information. You have to tweak it. You have to make it your own. You have to put in an additional at least 20% to that information, changing it, making it your own, etc. The third one, your judgment matters. Whenever you're looking at this information, if something seems a little bit off, doesn't seem right, go with your gut. And then just align whatever it is that you're looking at. Make sure it's just aligned to best educational practices. Make sure it's aligned to your curriculum, the content that you're teaching, and the standards. Okay, next, know the limits of your AI tool. Now, it wasn't long ago when ChatGPT first came out that it had knowledge up to the year 2021. It is now up to the beginning of 2023, I believe. And so ChatGPT is staying pretty current, though it is still a good 6 to 9 months behind on that information. So if you're looking for something that has just happened within the last 6 months, you may get some, but just know that that information is probably not going to be very accurate and certainly not have a lot of sources that are being brought in with that information. Now, look at your specific tools as well, because some of these tools out there are not going to be as advanced as ChatGPT. And so it's a good idea to go into the information section of the tool just to find out what were the limits. Finally, privacy. Be really, 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 really careful with privacy with AI tools, because what you put out there is going to be massively available to everybody, and it becomes part of that database that the AI tool refers back to. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and head out to magicschool.ai. So why don't you pause this, open up a new tab, and head there, please. And then when you're ready, you can unpause and you can follow along with me. I'll see you back here in just a minute. Okay, so here we are out at magicschool.ai. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the information here. So first of all, you can sign up for free as a teacher. I do want to talk to you about costs. So what I have seen in the last probably 4 or 5 months is that tools are becoming available for free. And then at some point you need to upgrade, and there's going to be a fee associated with that. Some of them are free now. Just know likely there is going to be a fee attached to that in the future. So I really feel like that is coming. I think all of them have a free version. And so my strong recommendation, use the free version, stick with me through these next few courses so that you can see what other tools are out there and are available, so that if you do indeed want to upgrade and you want to purchase that tool with more features, that you know exactly what you're getting, and that you know that this one is better than this one, etc. So that you make sure that you are spending your money wisely on these AI tools. So this is one that you can log into for free. Now I do have a paid version on a lot of these because I just need to be current on what's happening. So if you see something different in mine versus yours, I think I'm hoping that's an intentional piece for you, so that you can see what happens when you have an upgraded version, so that you are starting to see, do I want that? Do I want to put money into that? Or is the free version good enough? So do please keep that in the back of your mind. I want to say this one was about $80 for a year. That's probably going to be about what we're going to see. Okay, so you can sign up for free. And once you do that, you're going to have an account. It's really pretty quick and easy. And then when you come back here, you're going to be able to log in. Now, if you're logging in for the first time, there's going to be a video there that's going to say, hey, check out the new features. Don't go there right away. Let me show you some of these other things first, because it might be confusing to you to watch that video. Pretty much everything I cover here is what they cover in their tutorial videos that you're going to see anyway. All right, so this is Magic School, and I love Magic School because it offers all these different categories for you. So this looks a lot different than ChatGPT, and it's very specific toward education. So for example, here we have email family. Oh, okay. So think about this. You know what AI is now from ChatGPT. So this is going to help you generate all these different pieces that are very specifically oriented to what you select. All right, so you're going to have a chance to look through these here for your homework today. But as you can see, I'm going to scroll down. There's an awful lot of choices, and it's really awesome. Okay, I know I get really geeked out about this. Okay, so but first of all, let me share a couple of things with you. Number one, Magic School uses a chatbot called Raina. We are going to cover Raina in our next session. So don't worry about Raina right now. I just want you to get familiar with what is available on this tool for today. You can search. So if you're looking for something specific, and I'm going to just show you so you can see, I'm going to scroll down a little bit. So you're looking for social stories and you want to create some of those. You can come up here and you can look for social stories, and it is going to limit your options for you. So it will bring it up. And this is looking at the all button. So it's looking at all of the features they offer. You can see across here that you can narrow your search down based on these things. So if you were looking for that tool where you wanted to be able to communicate with your family, so you wanted your weekly newsletter, let's say, that you send home. So you can click on here and let's see if it's going to work. Maybe it doesn't pop up. Okay, so that must be under different one, maybe community tools. Anyway, you start getting familiar with it. And so when you're searching, do keep that in mind that you can quickly search for things. But better yet, I have some things that are going to be much more important to you. But look at the communication. You can see it brought up just those communication ones. Okay, so, and if you're looking for the different pieces, and it just brings it up, it's pretty narrowed down for you. We're going to go back to all. Now, we're going to go back to the social stories. And let's say this is something that you're going to plan on using a lot, and you don't want to have to come in every time and type that in. If you star it right here, it is now going to bring it back up. So every time you come out and you're on your home page, now all of a sudden this one is starred under your favorites. And so it is here. Once you start getting a list of favorites, you can change the order, and it will allow you with the click of the arrows to move these things up, down, and however you want to do that. So if there's a couple of tools that you want to use, it will quickly organize that for you. It's really fantastic. Okay. So if right now you're like, okay, I need to do that or I'll forget, pause the video, take a couple minutes, look at a couple of these, star a couple of them, and practice that. Otherwise, we'll have time at the end to do that as well. Okay, let's go ahead, and now I want to look deeper at my social stories. So I'm going to click on here, and it's going to give me some options. So first of all, what grade level am I looking for? And then what is the social situation, event, or activity that I want a social story for? Okay, that's really great. So you can click on your grade level. So 4th grade, and let's say there was something going on at school. So maybe you had a situation where there was gossiping. Oops. That never happens, right? I hope I spelled that right. All right. So it's going to generate this for me based on a 4th grade level. And now you can see it has generated a social story for me that quick and easy. I mean, this is pretty amazing. All right. So now you have this. There's a couple of things that I want to show you once you have been in here. First of all, you have edit prompt. So if you want to change your mind or you want to add something that you forgot, maybe gossiping and something else, you can do that. And then hide your prompt again. Over on the right-hand side, if you hover over here, there's a few different options for you. If you just click on this copy, it's just going to be like a copy paste, which you know how to do. So copy that. It's going to copy all that text for you, and then you can go paste it wherever you want to paste it to. Save the resource. So you generated this and you want this to become part of your resource list. If you click on save, this adds this into your content library. So it's always going to be there for you to come back to, and then you can re-edit it and do all sorts of things with it once it's there, but then you won't have to regenerate it again. And finally, they have some options for exporting. This is super exciting. So you can print it. You can save it as a Microsoft Word, but look at this. If you click on Google Docs, this will, in fact, here, I'm just going to do it for you. So if you click on this one, it's going to export this for you. It takes a couple minutes. And the first time you do this, it's going to ask you if you allow them to share their content, as all Google tools do. And then when I go ahead and open it up, now I have this document already in my Google Docs. So it was that quick and easy. I didn't even have to copy, come in, make a new document, paste it. The only thing I will have to do is come up here, make sure this is really important because these will always show up as Magic School Export. You want to change this to whatever your title, whatever you want to call it, social stories, gossiping. All right. So, and then it's there for you and it's going to be in your drive. And then of course, if you click here, you can organize that in your drive. So quick and easy like that, it just changes it over for you. Okay. So those are the features once you get in here. Now, I want to share with you this box down here. This is when we get into talking about RAINA in our next video. We're going to go deeper into here. I just think it adds so much to this one when there's a couple of things I just want you to practice for right now. So we're going to come back to this in our next video. Now, we can share. If you click on the share link, then it's going to give you what access level, and then who do you want to share this with. So there's some sharing options as well, or we can just go ahead and go back. So what I would like for you to do today for your homework assignment is I want you to look through and become familiar with Magic School. So this video is going to be roughly about 20-25 minutes long. For the next 30 minutes, I would like for you to go through, look at these just so that you know what they do. So what is, oh, they have YouTube video questions. What is that? And so you can start taking a look, just familiarize yourself with the tool. So we aren't going to go, if you want, and I tell you what I will do, if you want to go deeper and look at some specific ones, let's make this 2 hours. If you spend another hour really looking at these, because I know this is a really big deal. So vocabulary list generator, this is an amazing tool. And so if you are interested in this and you want to see what it does, that you can do this. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad I opened this. This is really important. I almost forgot to tell you such a critical piece. Let's say you're looking at this and you want to know, well, what could this look like? So as part of your assignment, because it's going to take you a long time to generate your own content, when our purpose, our goal right now in this particular session is just to become familiar with what it does. So what you're going to do is you'll see exemplar up at the top here. If you click on that, that is going to give you an exemplar example of how this can be used. So you can look through here and you're going to see, okay, so this is what it's going to generate, something like this for you. So, and then you're like, okay, that's great. Clear your inputs. And this will clear what you have put in here. So you can start a new one. And then again, you can hide the prompt. You can save this. Well, you can save your exemplar. If you love that example and you're studying cellular respiration, you can go ahead and save this. Or you can head on back. So if you do this, look through several of these. So what are the DOK questions? So if you're looking at depth of knowledge, let's take a look and see what this does. You can take the time to type things in, or you can just look at an exemplar and say, okay, what is this doing? Oh, okay. So it's going to give me, if I put in a topic, it's going to generate for me information and or questions at the 4 different levels of DOK. And so just taking a look at what each of these does and what your availability is for the use of this tool. That's what I really want you to do. So spend an extra 30 minutes and you can just spend some time looking at this and I would like for you, if you're doing just the 1 clock hour, I would like for you to list 3 different examples. So if you're clicking on here and you're looking at the UDL choice board and you make an exemplar, just take a quick screenshot of this exemplar and just paste it into your document. So do 3 of those if you would like to have 1 clock hour. If you would like to have 2 clock hours, then I would like for you to put at least 5 or 6 different examples of the work that you've done and make sure that you're spending another hour and a half worth of time looking at all of the options that are available to you and that you know how to move back and forth. Now, I know you might be tempted to pop over here and to look at all of these other things that are here. I highly encourage you, become familiar with what is available so that you know what the tools are when you're making decisions about how to use this tool with kids, how to enhance your lessons, etc., that you are able to use this tool in that way. All right, so thank you so much. In our next video, we are going to come over and we're going to take a look at Reina and the possibilities and capabilities of Reina within Magic School. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful time exploring this tool because it's fabulous. Bye-bye.